Welcome back to another episode of Dive Spear Eat. Today, I'm going to be going over an unboxing first and a quick review of my experience with the Orcatorch D550. This light was sent to me by Orcatorch. This was not an official sponsored video. I let them know you can send any product you want. Just send me two, and you'll see why. But send me any product you want. I'm going to give my honest take on it and let you guys know what my honest opinions are on it. Yes, my opinion is probably a little skewed because they gave me free stuff, but take it what you will. I hope this is helpful. I'm trying to give my honest account of this product. So anyway, let's dive into the high level specs and then let's go into the unboxing. So high level specs, it's 1,000 lumens, has roughly 5 hours and 45 minutes of life on the medium setting. 253 meters of beam distance, obviously depends on the conditions of the water that day. Water resistance up to 150 meters and some other stuff. Peak beam intensity 16,000 CD. For those of you that know what that means, let me know. But yes, you get this box. But nevertheless, before I give my account on kind of my experience with the light, I will say, let us first open one of these and see what's inside. All right, here we go. Unboxing the D550. This has a max of 1,000 lumens. It says right there. Diving light, 1,000 lumens. Standard mode lasts 5 hours and 45 minutes. And you get roughly 253 meters of beam distance and water resistance up to 150 meters. But anyway, let's dive in. Here we go. When you get the light, you get this little box. Open it up, and what we have here, a nice little thinly foamed carrying case here. Most likely, you're probably not going to be using this carrying case after this, but if you wanted to, it comes in a nice little case. It doesn't look to be watertight, if that's what matters to you, but with a watertight flashlight, I don't really see that being an issue. You get two 3400 milliamp Orcatorch batteries. You get the torch itself there. The switch at the back. It's not like a clicky feel. There's no click at the bottom, but it does feel pretty smooth. And from my experience, even with the salt buildup, it does break through with ease. Next, you have a little strap that ties to the back of your light. You can tighten it down, put it around your elbow area, so right as it's hanging, it's right where your hand is, so you can go ahead and grab it and use it if needed. Next up, of course, we have our charger. Interestingly enough, actually, this makes a lot of sense. Single battery charger. The idea is you probably want one in your light, and while that one is in there, you can charge another. Next up, I really like this feature. I didn't really think I would, but I really enjoy it. Especially, I would imagine if you're going lobster diving, it is a wrist mount. I'm doing it correctly right here. So it straps underneath. I can get it to go through the loop. And then through here. Tighten it down. And then it's on there. And what you do is you feed the light through the top. Like so. And it fits snugly right there. So as you're diving around looking, you can use the light, press for different modes. What I do is typically at the strap here, I'll feed it through this loop and then have it go around this way. So if I was needing to ditch it, it doesn't get caught up in this and the whole thing. I need to take this whole thing off. The light could just go in an emergency situation. But yeah, I actually really like this. obviously keeps another hand free. Catch some more bugs or whatever you're doing. Give you one hand more free. So it comes with a wrist strap, which is really nice. I'm going to take it off. It's very secure. Double Velcro. I highly doubt you will lose this because of the Velcro. We have some hardware here. I'm sure it's stainless steel. It should be. There's no markings on it, but I would imagine it's stainless. We got some replacement O-rings, which is always a nice touch, especially as you open the light. The seam where it opens needs to be secure. That's how it gets watertight. So you can see here that we use 2 O-rings. Really tough to see, but there's 2 in there. But yeah, there you go. If you need a replacement, there's 3 of them that they give you extra. We got a warranty card, some literature if you wanted to read that. But yeah, overall, this is everything you get inside of the box. All right, so that was the Orcatorch, what's inside of one of those boxes when you order one. But let me give you my personal account of this dive light. There are plenty of dive lights in the market. Let me give you my history with dive lights. I've pretty much almost exclusively used Princeton Tec for a very, very long time. No major reason why except my local dive shop carried them. They've worked great in the past, and I had no reason to look elsewhere. So, but after Orcatorch reached out to me, I did try their light out. My initial impressions was overall, as you can see in the box, wow, you get a lot of stuff. And I'm like, okay, maybe you get a lot of stuff and the product's maybe not that good. And I'm sure many of you know, Amazon products, not a reputable brand yet, or known brand yet, a lot of question marks. I was a little wary, and to be honest, I was skeptical for sure when I got this. But after trying using this light now 4 dives, so not a ton, but I would say a decent sample size. I think the dive light is a good buy. Here's why. 1, durability. I only shore dove those 4 times. As many of you know, I pretty much almost exclusively shore dive. And this guy, especially, well, it gets banged up going in and out of the surf, whether it be a little bit or a lot. One time, as I was heading in, I got tossed on some rocks and I had the wrist strap on and I just smashed this light against some rocks heading in, trying to get my bearings, and it took it. There are some scuffs on the top here near the lens, but other than that, unscathed. Overall, it seems like really good construction so far, and I can't complain in terms of build quality. It seems to be holding up pretty well. Usability wise, I think, like I mentioned in the unboxing, the wrist strap is really nice. It's a nice touch that I didn't think I really needed or wanted, but that's really nice. The battery life does last a good amount of time. I haven't charged this one in particular in a really long time. It's still holding charge and does seem to hold energy pretty well. So from my personal experience, it works really well. It's rechargeable, which is great. For the Princeton Tec, I did use Duracell, just I guess one-time use batteries. Yes, you can use rechargeables, but as many of you know, rechargeable batteries, though this one is rechargeable, those AA's, for me, don't seem to be, they don't hold this charge very well very often, but take that way you will. This one holds charge pretty well from my experience. Secondly, the functionality of the on-off switch. So we have first high, medium, and then if you hold it, it flickers, like a distress, and then you can cycle through. So it goes high, medium, off. That's pretty much your primary functions. One thing I like about it is that the center beam is very focused, and then you kind of have this glow around it. The reason why that's important for me when I dive is I do like the center beam when I'm more or less on the top, or I'm looking into deep caves. But for the most part, when I get close, especially to lobster, I use this glow portion more because the intensity of the center spooks the lobster. And not only that, I don't typically use the strongest setting. I do the second one, which is the quote unquote weaker setting, which from my personal take, I don't know the exact numbers or the lumens and whatnot. From my Princeton Tec to this, the handheld one I have, the medium beam for this matches my Princeton Tec intensity. The Princeton Tec is a little bit more yellow as well, but nevertheless, I think this is a little too bright for my taste, but nevertheless, I do use the second beam the most. Again, center is focused and you get the glow, which is nice. But yeah, outside of the beam, temperature-wise, it does seem to hold temperature pretty well, or in terms of regulating temperature, it doesn't heat up that much. And one thing I will say, which I wish it had, was a lockout button for the light. They do have these little ridges near the trigger or the on-off switch to reduce the likelihood of you pressing it like this. But there are 1 or 2 times where I wish that there was a lockout, because I did bump it a couple times and it went through. Not a big deal. Switched on and off, but yeah, that's one thing. But yeah, overall, my recommendations, all in all, I do recommend this light. Do I think it's the best light for the money and what you need? It depends. If you want a light that is built from metal versus polymer, plastic, obviously this is a good bet. Construction wise, it does seem to be working really well. You do get the extra O-ring, which is a nice sense of security, and you can use it for a long time in theory. And if you want something high intensity, this is it. I cannot test for the 1000 lumens. However, for in the water use at full charge on the highest setting, it's more than enough. It's maybe too much for a lot, especially in SoCal, where you get a lot of reflection back when you get particulates in the water. It's overkill. But if you want that extremely strong light, this is it. But outside of that, I mean, I would recommend getting the light. Do your own research, shop around. I just want to give you some insight on this particular one. Again, my experience is using Princeton Tec for a long time. Nothing against them. I still love their dive lights, but Orcatorch has been good. And thank you for watching all the way up to this point. If you're still around, thank you for sticking around. On my Instagram account, I will actually be giving away one of these, and that's why I asked for 2. Whenever a company tries to send me stuff, I always ask for 2, because 1 for me and 1 to give away. So if you want a chance to win one of these, check out my Instagram. I'll have a post out there on details on how to enter. Entering is free. You submit and I will ship it over to you, whoever the winner is. If you're in the US, I'll ship it for free. If you're outside of the US, unfortunately, we'll have to talk and figure out shipping. But anyway, you have a chance to win one of these. Thank you for watching. This is the Orcatorch D550. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope it was helpful. I'll see you on the next one.